Hello everyone, it's Ink here, and you're back with Everything is Terrible Forever, also known as Star Trek Armada. Yeah, the Borg are scary. This is kind of the thing with the Borg and Star Trek Armada 3. They are technically a balanced race. You can play them, and they are not going to be outrageously broken compared to everyone else. But that doesn't mean that they won't kick your ass. Especially in the late game, where they get really, really powerful. So that's the thing. We have some envoy ships, so we're going to send them off to make friends with the Dominion over here. Yeah, you can see that they're already sending their envoy ships through. And Locutus is busy running around here, which might give us an opportunity to do some things about that, because he's on pretty low health, but I'm going to need a god-awful amount of firepower to take down even a heavily damaged cube. Bear in mind, that's the heroic cube, which is not the biggest and scariest one they have. Borg capital ships are not messing around. Good news is that our economy is very healthy, so we should be able to recover in reasonably short order. So we're going to want a Phoenix, possibly two Phoenix, because the engineering team's power is going to be super useful in terms of keeping our fleet running. But in terms of other not dying things, let's get another military station, because that will give us some useful things. We have this off the cooldown, so we can summon in a Voyager. Lovely. And we'll go ahead and get sense triangulation for all the buffs that offers. But yeah, the main thing about the next tier of research here is that will give us access to the Akira class and the Enterprise E refit power, which will summon in the Enterprise. Which we're going to need. I'm just going to put that right out there right now. We want all the power we can get, and a free sovereign class is a big deal.
Give the word.
Okay, lovely. So I'm going to send one of our envoys over here. I believe we have another one over here, so yep, we're going to send that through to there.
Alter course.
Let's take a quick look at the envoys. So here, I mentioned in a previous episode about how these things have an invulnerability power. Here you can see it. 30 seconds every 90 seconds of invulnerability. Which can help in the short term, and it can definitely help for getting through unfriendly territory, but it's definitely not a long-term solution, so you do need some additional work in order to
alter course.
In order to become friends with someone. You can't just send envoys. I also have some other stuff, like this has the Settler's power, which means that you can see here, just by having this in orbit, that's a 25% population boost. Which is a pretty big deal. Which basically means that envoys do have a purpose even when you are dealing with other players, other human players. And it also has a power which we have not researched yet here, which has the ability to boost trade income and refinery income. So that's cool. So let's take a quick look at our diplomacy situation. We can see that this is going through the roof. So let's see if we can... Yeah, so you can see we can shunt these missions around, which the AI can then choose to accept or ignore. So let's see if we can... Let's ask for a couple of thousand credits, just to help get us in a little bit of a better spot. And yeah, they don't want to have any of it, which is fair enough. A couple of thousand credits is a fairly large amount. But let's see if we can get a ship vision pact, just share some information. here, we're going to get the diplomatic philosophy tech, which will eventually lead to mixed technology stuff. Cool, so now we have a pretty good view of not everything they have, because it's only where they have ships. But we can see at least a bit of what their overall situation looks like. So they're... I'm not actually entirely sure how spread out they are. Is it just me, or is their fleet terrible? I'm probably missing something. Oh yeah, also here is the Orion pirate base. If you kill this, then the pirate raids stop happening. But yeah, you saw how much was in there, so no. Just no. Okay. Go ahead and grab the Treaty of Bajor. Which will help a bit. And what else can we do? Planetary science labs. Okay, we're definitely actually going to want this. And I would have got it earlier if I'd noticed it before. But this basically... Currently we're handicapped by the number of labs which we have built. But this research basically adds on one lab per capital ship we own. So this is civilian research, and this gives us military research. So it's going to come to a point where we can just spam out capital ships and then actually dismantle all of our research stations, which is going to be a really big deal. Now, excellent, we actually have the Enterprise available, so let's go ahead and get that, which gives us all of our hero ships. Let's see, where's the Enterprise? There she is. That's a nice model. You can see that that has a lot of firepower, so that's going to be a big help. Now, let's see. Warp in Battle Group. This is basically, you can literally just spend a bunch of resources and it will spawn in a fleet anywhere you are. Which is pretty nice. But I think I'm going to go with Inspiring Presence. Because that's another lovely aura. Between the Defiant and the Enterprise, we're getting some really nice auras, which will help to ensure the survivability of the fleet overall. That's us maxed out on capital ships, so we can afford to just focus in on getting a load of basic cruisers. So we're going to load up on Excelsiors for the moment, just because we know that those work. But we're also going to want to get some more research. We have the Nebula class and the Prometheus class, which are a couple more of our capital ships. We have the Typhon class, which is a carrier capital ship. And over here we have full-on sovereigns. The one which I really want to get hold of for right now is the Akira. See down here that the Akira, if you compare the Excelsior and the Akira has less phaser damage, but has a lot of photon damage, and it has longer range weapons. So we're probably going to do pretty well with that. Yeah, it is more expensive, but our economy is in pretty good shape, so I think we can make that work. Now, down here this is almost finished, so that will help.
Be ready for anything.
And this is something which I should have got a while ago, but I am just falling behind on a whole bunch of things, so I'm dumb. This will allow us to detect enemy ships as they're moving around. Any ship which jumps one system, which is jumping into one of my systems, will be detected in advance, which will give me a little bit of advance warning. But if I get down here, then that will give me a range of 2 jumps, and that will help a lot. Okay, so you can see that I have completely unlocked the civilian tech tree, and technically I now have 10 civilian research facilities. I'm going to want to get this one as well. I'm going to do that now. Technically I should probably be saving up, but it looks like the Borg have focused their attention over here a little bit, just working on expanding. And let's see.
All sections report.
Lovely. Okay, I'm just checking things out. So here we have the Treaty of Bajor,
Research complete.
and that is going to unlock some more things. Like this will give us the
Ship at full readiness.
there are a number of things which we can get just by virtue of being friends with people. So let's take a quick look here. The Treaty of Bajor, we need a relationship of 15. So we're going to need to work on that for a bit. You can see they've spammed envoy ships everywhere, so if we build some more of our own, in fact, that will help a lot in that respect. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be a little bit costly, but I think it's going to be worth it in terms of getting everything sourced out with these guys. Let's see if we can get a peace treaty up. Lovely. And we should have planet vision soon, so which will give us a full... Okay.
Red alert.
Yeah, the Borg are playing around there, so gotta be careful. And we finally have a pirate attack. I'm not sure if the pirates have ever actually managed to get to one of my systems before. That's the thing. You can see our Excelsiors have their quantum torpedoes from the Lakota refit, which is fun. And we can start building Akiras. Yeah, our economy is definitely suffering a bit because we're having to build a lot.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
Okay, we've got a hostile Dode. We do need to get some more defenses up here because this is very vulnerable. Now the good news here... yeah, we don't actually know what's going on in here.
Lieutenant, open a hailing sequence.
We have a pretty decent fleet going here.
Make it so.
I'm a little reluctant to push out just yet, but we probably should.
Alert the crew.
Can only be a scaredy cat for so long.
Alert
Okay, here we have our Excelsior, so what can this do? Chain reaction pulsar, which is a fairly hefty amount of damage which chains between different ships. And we have scout cubes just running around and being a nuisance, so there's not much we can do about that. Okay, and we have our starbase doing its thing. Okay. How is our setup? Okay,
Research complete.
lovely. And that fully unlocks our military track tree. So I'm going to get the Akira Battle Refit tech and the Defiant Class tech. And then that'll unlock all of our important ships.
Acknowledge Starfleet. Acknowledge Starfleet. Standing by. Standing by. Changing heading.
Okay, and that's all of our envoys sent out. But then we can focus our search on all of this set, which we've been kind of ignoring, to buff up our individual
Alter course.
capabilities. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to when we get the Defiant class. because that is a lot of weapons, and we're gonna need all
Enemy
of them.
vessels detected.
Acknowledge Starfleet.
Yeah, do you remember when we almost had this filled up? Happy days. Okay, we almost have the Akira battle revert though.
All hands to battle stations.
Research complete.
Okay, you can see that's given a hefty boost to the phaser damage, and it's also given an energy weapon cooldown boost, so which actually might be what's being represented there. Actually, no, I don't think it is. I'm always a little confused as to how the numbers are represented in Sons of a Solar Empire. It's a little weird. But we're going to push out, see if we can get the asteroid belt Alpha back under control. We are not in a position where we can take on a Borg fleet. But we can at least start checking things out. So let's queue up some more Akiras. We're going to want some replacement Curries at some point, but they're not as big of a deal, because the thing which we loved so much about them, which was that they could capture ships, yeah, you can't capture Borg ships, which makes sense, but it's a nuisance. What can you do?
Standing by.
Okay. Cool. Let's see about getting a planet fission treaty. And they've actually capped out their relationship with us. Now you can see that it doesn't work both ways. They're basically waiting around on me, which is why I've got these envoy ships running around to do stuff. And I'm not actually sure what the Karat class envoys do for us, but I'm assuming they're giving us some cool buffs. But yeah, we can see where the Cardassians have spread out to. But what worries me is they haven't got here, which suggests to me that the Borg control half the map. Okay, so the Borg did in fact leave here, which is expected.
Research complete.
Mildly saddening, but expected.
Alert the crew.
So we are going to try this again to get our space dock constructed here. We're going to get a couple of curries just so we have the ability to claim these mining things.
All sections report.
And then we'll just have to see where it goes from there. But yeah, I think it's probably safe to say where the Borg are currently sitting. To be exact, pretty much where we don't want them to be. So what else can we do? Ideas, people. We need ideas. Okay, let's get some...
All hands to battle stations.
Oh boy. Yeah, we've got Borg fleet moving in there.
All hands to battle stations. Standing by.
Okay, remind me how much we need to get this thing running. Yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Battle stations.
But we can move around here, try to counter things there. Interestingly enough, the Borg, these are still unclaimed. I'm actually going to. I think that the Dominion can at least hold things off here. According to the numbers here, they do have the numerical advantage. Let's take a quick look at how the battle's faring. Alrighty. Yeah. There's a lot of ships here, but where they don't have Locutus, there's a steady stream of Dominion cruisers coming in, so I think we're going to be okay there. Yeah, you can see, I believe... Yeah, there's Bayun.
Warp speed.
Alright, so, in the next episode, we are going to try to take control of Luna and Earth. Get a little bit more going with our economy. And...
Research complete.
yeah, see if we can actually start to turn this around. Fingers crossed. Before we go,
Alert the crew.
there's something we can do. We can get that running. And hope it doesn't die this time. Alrighty folks, so until next time, and on a more positive note, stay safe.